I just want to let you know that you're all doing really great. I know some of you still might be worrying, am I getting it? Am I doing it right? Whatever you're experiencing so far is perfect. You'll see everyone takes to the method in their own way. They have their own style of applying it. They'll have their own style of using it. So no matter how you're using the method so far, just allow yourself to keep working with it, keep allowing it to unfold. And in order to support you in really making the method solidly your own, we have these 3 special area of interest workbooks. Now the workbooks, as we've mentioned several times already, are the most important part of these videotapes and also this class, because it's in the workbooks that you really make the method your own. It really helps you work through whole issues, really get to completion on many different topics. And what we did is we created 3 special area of interest workbooks for you to focus on 3 topics that most people can really relate to. And what they are is, the first one is your financial freedom. Now, how many people right now can't relate to financial freedom? All of us would like a little more of that. It seems to be something very popular in our whole country. The next one is your appearance, health, and well-being. Most of us are always concerned about how we look. What do first thing we do in the morning when we get into the bathroom? We stare in the mirror and go, oh my God. No matter how good we look, no one ever feels, in our society, no one ever feels like they look good enough. And of course, we always want to have good health. And then also, a very important issue for most of us is our relationships. And it's not just our relationships with our spouse or our significant other. We're having relationships all the time with everyone we meet. And that's often the cause of a lot of uncomfortable and stressful feelings in our lives, is our relationships. So what I'd like you to do is, for the whole tape series and this whole class, I'd like you to find, now you can work through all 3 of these books at your leisure. In fact, the more you apply yourself to all 3 of these workbooks, the better. But what I'd like you to do is select one particular workbook and make that your focus for the class. It could be any one of the 3, whichever one you decide to use. And what I'd like you to do is, I'll open up to in the first workbook, in the first section, I picked the one on financial freedom. I figure that's the one most people these days could relate to. And if you open it up, I want you everyone take out that book for a minute. The way you'll get the most out of this program is by releasing in this workbook, in the first section, section 1, and the first question here is, what is my now feeling about how much money I have? Now, I think everyone will have some feeling about how much money they have, no matter how much it is. And the thing is, when you start to release your feelings about money, just like any other topic, you'll start to see sometimes very dramatic results for 2 reasons. One is, first of all, these days, everyone's under a lot of stress and pressure about money. No matter how well they're doing, there's always that little nagging doubt. What's going to happen tomorrow? What if the economy changes again and I'm out of a job? Or my business doesn't do as well as it's doing right now? So working on releasing your feelings about money will help you deal with all the stress that's there just because of that whole money issue. Now, the other reason that you'll see a dramatic result as you release on money is that with money, very often, if you've noticed, there are 2 people in the exact same profession who perform very differently. Even though they have the same training, the same background, what's the difference? Does anyone know what the difference is? It's their attitude. Now, everyone's probably heard that a positive mental attitude makes a tremendous difference. And most of us have tried different things to try to make ourselves think more positively. And if you ever try that, you realize it very often doesn't work. And why is that? It's very simple. When you're trying to think positively without letting go of those uncomfortable feelings, it's like putting good apples on top of a barrel full of rotten apples. What's eventually going to happen even to the good ones? They're going to rot. That's what happens with positive feelings, positive programming, or positive thinking, when you're not letting go of the negative. So what we do here is we assume that underneath all those apples in the barrel, it's barrels made of gold. And if you're willing to dig out those rotten apples, all those uncomfortable feelings, you'll discover that gold within you. And you also start to see it in your life. So I highly encourage you to work in these special area of interest workbooks. And before you work in the next tape, or before you come back tomorrow morning, what I'd like you to do is just work through section 1. And then we'll let you know, Nikki or I will let you know when it's time to go on to section 2. So have a wonderful evening, and have a wonderful time using the method before we go to the next tape.